Hello again, everyone. Time for another plastic model build. On this video, we're going to be doing a 66 Mustang Fastback GT. It's going to be a fun build, so let's get started. There's our chrome pieces. We have two sets of tires, so we can pick either the white letter or the red line. And we can even put slicks on the back. A couple of extra ones there. There's some headlight lenses there. There's a glass, front and back glass. And here's the body and the frame. And we got a separate interior. It's right there. And we got a choice of seats. We have some racing style seats, or we have the original style seats. Two axles. And there's our instructions. These parts here, they're going to be body color. We got a couple of choices of pans on the front and the back. And this is a front spoiler. So the rest of this will be different colors. I think I have everything sorted out. We'll just use a brush on these parts that are left. We'll be spray painting all the body color parts. So I'm going to go with the red like the box shows. This is called a colonial red. There's quite a bit of orange in it, but I like that. I think that'll really look sharp. And I'm going to get started on the parts that I'm going to paint with the brush. And Ford motors are blue, so this is the blue I'm going to be using for that. And I think we've got enough colors on the rest of those to get everything painted. We need to do a little cleaning up on these parts. Got a lot of plastic edges hanging over. So just using a file to do that. It looks like this blue matches pretty well to the Ford blue. Next we're going to paint some silver. And we're going to use the two carburetors on the engine, so both carburetors need to be painted silver. And our exhaust manifolds, we're going to paint those silver. Next we're going to paint the black. Okay, we got the frame painted. And paint the shocks blue just where they kind of stand out a little bit. And the firewall and the front panel with the radiator core support. As soon as the paint dries, we'll start assembling the engine. And I painted the interior black. The seats, console, and the door panels will be painted a different color. I'm kind of leaning towards the brown. I think that'll be a nice contrast between the red body color. Be painting the seats, console, the dash, and I painted the grip on the steering wheel black, so All we need to do there is paint the column the same color as the seats. There's the two front seats. This brush is pointed, so it makes it easier to get down into these door panels, areas that are hard to get to. And when we get enough paint on this dash and it dries, then we'll go back and we'll detail the instrument cluster and the buttons and switches, knobs. Okay, that's probably good enough. We'll leave the glove box and the instrument cluster. Okay, and then we'll paint the horn button with the silver. Now we'll work on this back seat and the console. And here's the front bucket seats. They'll probably need another coat. There's a steering wheel with the silver button. This particular wheel has the 3 buttons on each of the spokes. So we just touch them up a little to make them look like they're silver. Like that. Now we'll do the instrument cluster. And the glove box. Now the glove box has a little pony emblem, and we'll touch it up with, probably next we're going to paint the center of the console with silver, detailed. Knobs. And here's the interior console. Let's start assembly on the motor. Okay, we're going to take a break. We've got several parts glued on the motor, so we'll let those dry before we continue. So we'll move on. Wheels are next, and then probably chassis work after that. So wheels and interior are next. Alright, let's put the tires and wheels together. I'm going to use these chrome wheels. That's the GT wheels they're called. These are more of a stock wheel over here. So we'll be going with the GT wheels. Let's get these put together. Painted the back of the wheels black. It really makes the chrome look nice. Shifter in the console. Need to get that put in before we put the dash in. There's a shifter. Alright, put a coat of clear on the interior. Here's what I use for that. It's the same 2X product that I've used for the spray painting. This is just clear, gloss clear. Alright, have the chassis, tires and wheels on. Motor is installed. Here's the interior. It sets right in there. And the reason I painted this black, the firewall is going to be black, and then the front radiator support. So the whole engine compartment is going to be black. Alright, here's the back bumper and the back pan that I'm going to be using. This has the provisions for the backup lights and the exhaust tips. That's the look I want. So that needs to be painted. And here's what I want to do with the front. This is basically a stock bumper, stock front pan, but then this spoiler, I'd like to mount it underneath that pan like that. And it'll be body color too. So, and I would like to put this hood scoop on. It's got pegs, a couple of holes there in the bottom of the hood, so I guess if I punch them holes through, yeah, then those two pegs on the back of the scoop fit on those holes like that. Not too many parts to paint body color. So I have these ready to take outside, and it's supposed to be up in the 60s today, so be okay for painting. And one thing I did, I went ahead and mounted the spoiler on the front pan, so they'll all get painted together. I thought about installing either the front or the back pan, but they really don't attach to the body other than those two pins on the front, those two small pins. And these legs right here, they glue to the frame, so I have to wait on that. So we'll just paint them all separate and put them together. And I did take my file and some fine sandpaper, went around the window openings, all the places where there's a little bit of plastic hanging out. And I think I've got most of it looking pretty good. No jagged edges sticking out where it was attached. Same with these, I went over them. There's a hood scoop, it goes right there. But we're going to paint it separate. But I'm afraid if I go ahead and put it on, you'll see up under it that there's no paint. So it'd be better to paint the underside like we're going to do on all of these. Alright, here's the parts, and we're going to do the underside first. So I have them all flipped over. Let's get a coat of paint on these. And brought them back inside where we can let them dry in a good warm room. Alright, we're going to put some paint on the outside of the car. And what I've done to hold these parts, you see, I think you can see, just took some masking tape, wrap it around itself like that, stick it to the part, and that'll hold it up off the box. We'll be putting 2 coats of color, and when that second coat's still a little sticky, not completely dry, then we'll put a coat of clear for the final coat. Painting's done. Coat of clear on it after we put 2 coats of the base. So a couple of days to let this dry, and we'll finish up. Because I'm using kind of really a stock front panel with the spoiler on it, you can't really put the white stripes and make them work right. You have to use that solid pan in the front. So we're just going to go with the stripes down the side, the bottom of the door, along the quarter panel. Okay, there's one side. Have the bumper and the rear pan put on. Still need to put the gas cap and the tail lights in. And we need to put the front pan on. Radiator hoses, the grill, and the front bumper. Painted these two pieces of paper stoplight red. And these rear tail lights are supposed to have been either a clear lens or a red lens that went in that, and it's not in the box, so painted these red, and we'll put them behind the bezels. That'll make the tail lights. Now on the front, we have turn signals and parking lights here below the headlights, and they should be an orange or an amber. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to paint them with a brush. And there's our amber parking lights and turn signals. Paint the door handles and the lock and the wiper arms. So we'll get the tail lights and the gas cap put on. We'll put the rear view mirrors on. We do have the GT badge on the fenders, both sides. And here's a final look at the 66 Mustang Fastback GT. For our next plastic model build, we're going to be doing a 2021 Ford Bronco. Thanks for watching the video. See you next time. Well, we hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, how about giving us a like and subscribing to our channel? Thanks.